So a question has come up about creating a test or a quiz in Schoology. Something formative, you really don't know what kids are going to do when they're not in your presence. So I'm going to go ahead and use my surgical precision. I'm going to hover over that little gray line at the top and then click on the plus sign. And I'm going to add a test or a quiz. Now, there are two ways to do this. The add assessment, it's cool, there's bells and whistles. I really just don't like it. I just like the test and quiz because in my mind it seems to kind of fit more into the whole Schoology thing. And so you'll see when I click on test or quiz, it still looks like a Schoology item to me. It doesn't take me to something that looks totally different. So I'm going to call this a test. All right. You can have a due date. If you put a due date, it's going to show up on your calendars and it's going to show up in the workload then. So let's see if this does show up. Well, I have no students, but I'll say this is going to be on Friday. I really do. Let me create a new grading category. Tests there. So we'll go in my test category and I will keep everything as this is. And I will create. So a couple of things first. What I would like to do first is I'm going to go to my settings icon. I'm going to make sure my settings are okay. These are your instructions. So do your best would be the things that the kids would see when they log into their test. Submissions. I always forgot to do this. You need to make sure that your submissions are enabled or enabled until a due date or enabled between two dates. So maybe I just want to have this test enabled from, say, Thursday, tomorrow, to Friday, the 10th. And I could put in a time, 11:59 p.m. And so that's a midnight. And I could make it do 11:59 p.m. on Friday. Maybe I should probably make that 12:01 a.m. so they have the entire day. Is there a time limit? That's up to you. One attempt or two attempts. It kind of depends what your questions are. Randomize. You can have the questions show up in a different order every time for your students. That's certainly useful in class so kids aren't kind of gawking off each other's screens. But again, that's up to you on this one. Using paging. So here's the thing. If I have one question per page, that's what it is. There's a question on this page, and you go to the next page. If you use page breaks, you can determine where the questions are broken up. So that's something for you to tinker with and explore. Question review. So this is do you want to allow your students to review and change their answers before they submit it? And I think that is always a yes. If sometimes a kid will get locked out or will inadvertently close a browser window, do you want to allow them back in? Yes. And would you like them to view the submissions after they kind of submitted it so they can see their answers? I think I might kind of hold off on that for right now, but you can always go back and change this so students can see it. So I'm going to save my changes to this page, and then in the next video, I will show you what the different question types are.